Hello students, welcome to English class. Today we will learn about poem Wind written by Subramanya Bharati. So let's begin with it. Now let's know about the poet. Subramanya Bharati was a Tamil poet, writer and social reformer. He is still popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati. He was a pioneer of the greatest modern Tamil poetry. In this poem, he has highlighted destructive power of wind. He says, wind, being a great and strong elemental power, shakes and destroys anything that is weak. All the small and fragile things fall an easy prey to its strong blows. As it does not listen to any prayers and appeals of mercy, the only way left for us is to build up our physical and mental strength to meet its challenges. It will then look like a friend when we are fully geared to face it boldly, courageously, and fearlessly. The wind blows out only weak hearts and fragile things. Strong hearts and fortified buildings defy its power. In the beginning of the poem, the poet pleads with the wind to blow gently so that it does not cause any havoc or destruction. He appeals to the powerful gusts of wind not to break the shutters of the windows, scatter the papers, and bring down the books from the shelves, thus throwing things into disarray. The repetition of the word don't highlights the endless pleas of the poet for mercy. But the wind pays no heed to the poet's appeal and moves with a destructive force, thus causing wanton destruction. Then the poet adopts an accusatory tone while speaking to the wind and complains about the disarrangement caused by the wind in his room. The wind has shown no consideration for the papers and books that were important to the poet. It has not only brought the books down from the shelves and ripped the pages, but has also brought rain with it to cause further distress. While the poet's tone while speaking to the wind is still accusatory, now it also has a tinge of sadness to it. The wind can tear down the doors, the rafters, or entire wooden houses altogether. It rips apart all the exterior protection, exposing people to the harsh world outside, and leaves a trail of disasters behind. The wind ridicules the weak objects and will not hesitate to crush them under its mighty power, be it weak and withering buildings or weak and cowardly human hearts. All will fall prey to the destructive force of wind. All pleas and prayers for mercy will land on deaf ears as the wind god is nature's filtering process in place. It will remove and crush the weak and unfit till only the strong remain who can endure hardships and face challenges. Now the poet addresses the readers and cautions them to strengthen their foundation, as the wind will not pay any heed to their pleas for mercy. The only way to survive the onslaught of the wind god is to strengthen ourselves to meet challenges head on. It is with a strong heart and firm body alone that we can tide over difficulties in life. Otherwise, like a weak building, we will crumble and perish when adversity comes to rattle our doors with all its might. If we fortify ourselves, life will be a pleasant journey and we will be able to take challenges in our stride like a strong building that weathers the storm with ease. In these last lines of the poem, the poet describes how hardships only break down and destroy the weak as the wind snuffs out a weak fire. Just like a strong fire that is rekindled as the wind blows, the brave and strong befriend adversity and emerge stronger. Thus, the wind can nurture that which is already strong. The only way to survive is to accept the challenges, face them with courage and fortitude, and be fearless. Wind as a force can be very useful if we befriend it. When we are able to harness its strength, it is a good friend to us and makes our life more comfortable in terms of providing us with electricity of life. Dear listeners, that's all about the poem. Thank you for watching video.